Shelly Rose May, Art by the Métis Mama here, and I have two journals to do flip through of today. Wasn't sure quite how to word that. I have had my coffee, so I don't know what's happened there. Anyways, so the first one is my wisdom journal, and this is one I posted a video of because I was struggling with how to correct the binding that I wasn't in love with. And I did manage to, so I had adhered a ribbon on here and I didn't like how it looked. So I took some fabric scraps and then just, adhered those scraps on. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I'll show you the inside, and once we get to the inside, I'll show you that other part that I wasn't happy with. But here's the fringe, which is twine and yarn and some fabric scraps. This fabric scrap matches the Dreamcatcher feather fabric that I used to make the spine with. There's a fabric bead that I made myself out of ribbon skirt scraps in the Jackie Travers Indigenous Floral pattern. And then I put the word sacred on there. This is a real stone. I think it might be jasper, but I'm not 100% sure. It was just in my stash of beads. This bead is howlite, which is a rock salt essentially. It's a clearing stone, and that's a glass bead, metal bead, and the rest are just like plastic and metal and acrylic, and a little horse charm. And I did not sew the signatures into the spine. I just used twine to keep them in place. This, however, is glued in place, so it does not come off. There's the back. I love the little hummingbird nest and the little birds there. So dictionary pages and some florals, and I just really love the collage work. There's a little beaver family there in their lodge, and so that actually is what inspired the title of this journal, Wisdom Journal, because in our 7 sacred teachings, our grandfather teachings, beaver carries the teaching of wisdom, and that's in our Cree culture. So I even included that teaching here, which I'll read to you. Wisdom is the ability to make decisions based on personal knowledge and experience. The building of a community is entirely dependent on gifts given to each member by the Creator and how these gifts are used. See the beaver in their community. The beaver's example of using his sharp teeth for cutting trees and branches to build his dams and lodges expressed this teaching. If he did not use his teeth, the teeth would continue to grow until they became useless, ultimately making it impossible for him to sustain himself. The same can be said for human beings. One spirit will grow weak if it is not fulfilling its use. When used properly, however, these gifts contribute to the development of a peaceful and healthy community. So that's what Beaver teaches us. They teach us to use our gifts, and if you don't use them, they will become useless or be taken away from you. So in this pocket has a variety of mostly indigenous theme, but there's a wildlife stuff in there too, and just a variety of fun stuff. I want it to be a surprise to the keeper, so I won't show everything, but there's some indigenous vintage pictures from from this book here that I found while thrifting. Look at the price on this one, 69 cents. And I don't know what the copyright is on this one, but here it says somebody had marked that this is their book, Jeff Wilson, July 1st, 1961. So I don't know if that's the copyright, but it is a golden book. And one of the reasons I like using these kind of books is because there's a lot of misinformation, propaganda, lies about our history. And so to me, it's like healing and therapeutic to use stuff like that in the making of my journals. In our teachings, we're all Indigenous people. We should all come together. So this journal has 3 signatures, and like I said, I did not sew them into the spine, but I did sew the signatures together. So yeah, so each signature is sewed together, then tied in. So I'll just do a quick flip through here. Well, I don't know how quick it'll be. That's from a Native American book, beautiful artwork, an atlas picture, an atlas book page. That came from a book on how to make puppets. Just a blank sheet of paper with some pencil drawing that my grandson had started to make a drawing, but then he never finished. Ledger paper, and I just threw a flower on there, some scrapbook paper. That's from an Indigenous coloring page. This is actually from a friend of mine, Delary Demont, who's a Cree Métis artist as well. I'm Cree Métis as well, and so is she. She's from Onion Lake. So I rescued this page from a warped coloring book on Indigenous art, and her artwork is in that book. So included that in there. And another scrapbook paper. I just taped that in with some washi so you can do something with that. Part of a adult coloring book. Here's another history in Native American history page. This came from a magazine talking about Indigenous feasts from a West Coast tribe here in Canada. Okay, and those are just the other side of the pages. And I didn't do much with this journal. A beautiful picture of a couple moose duking it out there. I made this little altered paper clip to keep it in place with some ribbon skirt scraps. So all of these altered paper clips are all made with ribbon skirt scraps, okay? So the fabric is Indigenous theme, so that's like a Métis floral, another Métis floral. This fabric is actually made by a Métis artist called Indigenous Nouveau. This one is like a turtle, and this one is like pointillism with birch bark. The same artist that did this floral fabric did this floral fabric, and again, ribbon skirt scraps, okay? So this is the second signature, or no, that's the end of the first signature. This is the second. So pretty much the same sort of theme for each signature. Try to use the same kind of pages. Here's a flashcard that I made. I have these Cree flashcards that I purchased, and I use them for my artwork. So this one's Amu, which means bumblebee. Seaman, I don't know if I'm saying that right. My mom's not here to correct me for my my Cree. This is Mahigan, which is Mahigan, which is wolf in Woodland Cree. Muswa, which is moose, right? Wawaskisu, which is elk. So and so on, right? So these are all in Woodland Cree, which is the dialect my mom spoke. And this one's Amisk. I thought it was fitting to put Amisk in this journal since it is a wisdom journal which teaches, carries the teaching of beaver. That's the back side. So a little journal card. My mom was a fluent Cree speaker, but she always said that she wasn't a really good speaker because she had to learn English when she went to school. There's a beautiful picture of a beaver sharing its gifts of building dams. You know, each one of us come to this world to do our earth walk, and we have gifts to share. My gift is to be a mother and an artist, and to heal intergenerational trauma within my family, because my grandmother attended Indian residential school here in Canada, and as a result a lot of trauma has been passed down into our family, which is why I'm a kinship mother and raising my sister's 2 boys and my niece's son. My niece is bipolar, and my sister slash cousin, she's actually my cousin, but we say sister too in our communities, but she has FASD, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. So there's a lot of trauma, and that's all from residential school. So here's a little mixed media spread that I did for this journal. It's a little bear medicine doll, and Bear carries the teaching of courage. It says, "Brave one, you are the medicine." And she's got the little medicine. She's got some medicine on her there. Yeah. So again, my art, I like to share some of the, the history of my family, the trauma. My art is all about helping people remember the truth of who they are as spiritual beings, but also healing, that trauma and helping people move forward in a positive way. And journaling is such an amazing way to help us release and express our creativity, practice our gifts if we are an artist. Here's a little beaver medicine doll drawing that I did that I wasn't in love with, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to throw in the journal. Someone will love it. This is just a little piece of a pull-up from a National Geographic pullout. Came from I'm assuming from a magazine, September 2004. So I just thought it was kind of a cool little thing to add in here. I've been giving pieces of this pullout into different journals. So yeah, this one you can color yourself. The little medicine wheel there. The medicine wheel, of course, we have every medicine wheel is slightly different depending on the tribe. In the Cree, we have yellow is in the east, red is in the south, black is in the west, but some tribes will put blue because they feel like black symbolizes death, so they'll use blue instead of black. And in the north is white. And that there's many symbolic teachings around the medicine. I mean, not symbolic, but there's many teachings around the medicine wheel. And the different colors can represent the different races. And right, we got the white or Caucasian, the yellow, which is like the Asian, red race, which is natives, and black race, right? But we're all connected. We're all brothers and sisters, and we're all Indigenous people. Okay. Again, I didn't do a whole lot with this journal. That's for you to do. I just did that one mixed media spread. Sometimes I like to throw paint and different things on this painting of the interior of a Mandan hut shows how many families live together. Right? We need to get back to this way of living. All of us a lot of people live in separate dwellings, and stress is high, and we don't have the help we need. Like me as a kinship mom, I don't have support for my boys. We should all be living in villages where everyone helps each other. It takes a village to raise a child. They should not be raised by just 1 or 2 people. The community should be raising the children. That creates a more well-rounded child. So another thing that needs to be repaired in our communities is to get back to that way of living. Okay, so that's the end of the signatures, and then I threw in a few of my faces there, and a medicine wheel, and there's a little whimsical grandfather-son that I drew, a couple of my paper dolls that you can color. This is another original artwork that I did that I wasn't in love with. It was inspired by me. That's me. That's my oldest son, Jackson. That's my youngest son, Messiah. And this is baby Sage. So that's where that inspiration came from with that one. And then that's a little wolf character that I drew with his ribbon skirt that I wasn't in love with, so I threw that in there. And then there's a little oracle card that I made, Free Spirit, so I threw that in as well. And then this is a collaged envelope with a bunch of cool pictures and some washi tape and tissue paper, and I stamped some eagles on here. And this is full of ephemera and some paper scraps and a few stickers. So this goes with this journal, and that is that one. So that's the Wisdom Journal. So this one, I would consider this one a standard size journal. This one I am going to let go for $90. And that includes the lovely ephemera pack and all those lovely little goodies that I added. And shipping is, well, you know what, I'm gonna say $85, because that's normally what I charge for these. My standard journals range from $65 to $85, but if I put a little bit more work into them, I'll up the price. But you know what, I'm gonna keep it at $85, and then shipping is extra. So if you're interested in this, let me know, because these ones fly off the shelf. Like, I can never hang on to them very long. This is the next one. This one's a little bit different, and I used a sunflower fabric scrap for this. And that's the back. It's collaged with a bunch of beautiful papers. I ran out of stickers, so I was not able to put my logo sticker on that journal. Although I do have one extra one here, so let's throw that one on. Right here, Art by the Métis Mama. There, now it's got one. Okay, so this one does not have a charm. This one's a little bit more simplistic, but still really nice. It's only got one big signature because it's a thinner journal, as you can see. So I threw a bunch of goodies in here. This one comes with several paper dolls. So there's this one I drew, I wasn't in love with, so I thought I'd throw that in here. There's a little fox girl that I drew, a coyote character, a Sasquatch. I made this like bookmark or journal, I don't know, journal place holder, whatever you call it. Journal holder place. You know what I mean. I love these faces. I actually got these faces from Wendy, I think is her name. I think it's W York Studio or something like that on Instagram, and she sells like vintage stamps, and she sells like printables, and she actually sells these polymer clay faces too. And I've bought a lot of her stuff over the years. I used her faces to make spirit dolls. I use her faces in my artwork, obviously. I just love her stuff. And this is a little plant spirit that I drew. So these are all going to go in here for you to enjoy. You know, and if you have kids and are like a young girl too that loves to do art, loves whimsical art, these journals are good for young ladies too, because my art is very childlike, right? It's really, people tell me my art is really sweet, and there is an innocence about it. So here is some of the pages in here. Again, I kept it really simplistic. I did not include a mixed media art spread in this journal. You do get an oracle card though. again, these are all, no, this is ribbon skirt scraps. These are just scraps. This is a little pocket that I made with a bunch of fun ephemera in here. Okay, this little Beatrix Potter book page there. This has like some tissue paper, a napkin, and this really cute picture of a boy hugging. It looks like a giant squash or something. I absolutely love that picture. There's another pocket with a bunch of fun ephemera in it. I got this in some Happy Mail, and I thought it would be a nice addition to this journal. There's a little butterfly, and just threw some tissue paper down there. Okay, and I actually got these gifted to me in some Happy Mail, and I just thought they're so pretty to add to this journal because it's kind of got like a garden theme going. And as much as I love these stickers, because they're a little bit 3D, I was like, you know, those for my, because I normally use them in my tiny journals, they might be a little bit too thick for my tiny journals, so I thought I'd just throw them in here for someone else. But it's hard to part with them because they're so pretty, but I think that they would be a nice addition to this journal. And then I collaged this envelope with tissue paper, threw some stickers on there and stamped on there a little bit, and it just says Scrumptious Scraps, and it's just full of a bunch of scraps that you can use to journal with. And here's a little color palette test page from an adult coloring book that I had that I thought would be fun to throw in as the back page that you can play with color on there. And that is this journal, and it says Listen to Your Heart, Brave Soul, and it is, the signature is sewed in there. And yeah, I actually am pretty happy with this journal. So this one's a little bit bigger than that one, but it also has only one signature. So again, I'm going to charge the same. It's going to be $85, and shipping's extra. Shipping's usually within Canada. For this size, I know it's going to be $20 for sure because of the size. Because this one's a little bit bigger, I don't think it's going to fit in the size box that I usually get. However, I think actually it might. So I'm going to say it's going to be $20 within Canada. If it's going to the States, I'm going to say $25, because if I remember last time, it's usually cheaper to ship within Canada, but last time for some reason I think it cost me a bit more, but I can't remember why. But anyways, just message me if you're interested. My email is artbythemutimama@gmail.com, but I'll put that in the description box. And I have 2 more junk journals going to be coming at you soon here again. This one here, I accidentally cut the spine when I was taking the guts out of this one, but it's going to be similar style. It's going to be collaged, and I'll make another Indigenous theme journal out of this one. And then this one, or it might be one of my ocean journals, because I've been wanting to do an ocean one too, so we'll see what happens. I need to start working on this one as well, so this one will be the next one to get kind of put together, and this one will be the next one to collage. So thanks for watching, and I still have to put a quote on here, but the front says Soul Seeker. I'm not in love with this size, so this will be the last big journal I make. These two actually will be the last two bigger ones I make. I don't like making this size because of the shipping costs, but also I just don't like the size because it's harder for me to find papers to put in here. It's easier to do the smaller size journals. So there, that's it. Thanks for watching.